Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. We're doing another segment of 5 and 5, highlighting 5 of the yes moments from entertainers in the world and 5 no's from this month. This is for April 2021. I'm a little behind on this one. I apologize for that, but there were so many in here that I needed to make sure I provided this highlight. I just couldn't not do this. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions on the yes side, just real quick ones. And just so you know, this list, spoiler alert, has a lot of athletes. I try to get a little bit of mix, whether it's actors, musicians, really anything. But this one is a little bit more athlete heavy than I have thought that it would be. But trust me, these individuals, they deserve to have a moment to shine, and I'm going to do that in this video. So let's get our music going, and let's get this list started. Okay, here we go. Real quick with the honorable mentions. We've got Rob Gronkowski, who went back to his alma mater in Arizona and caught a football from 600 feet in the air. Helicopter dropped one down, he caught it, sets world record. Steph Curry is still putting up amazing numbers despite the Warriors being kind of in the middle of everything right now. They're not really great, but they're not really bad. They're just very so-so, but Steph Curry himself doing a good job. Lionel Messi wins another cup, more specifically it's the Copa del Rey in Spain. So, yay, another championship for Lionel. And also, if you were watching March Madness, Jalen Suggs hits an amazing buzzer beater in the semifinals of March Madness. All right, we're going to start with the 5 and 5. We're going to start with the no's and go to yeses, no yes, and so on. First no is Floyd Mayweather. The reason he's on this list is because he didn't really do anything within his sport, but he's on the list for the mere fact that he accepted to fight Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul hasn't had tons of fights, but he and his brother Jake are making noise in the world of boxing, I guess, in a way. And this just seems bad. It's like bad optics for the sport. Now, this is not coming from someone who knows a whole lot about it, but I know something about sport and art integrity, and this is something that just seems a little kind of off. It just seems like, why would Floyd do this? It feels kind of beneath him. So, not to sound preachy or anything like that, I'm really not, but it doesn't feel like it's something that's worth our time. It's two unlikable people just trying to beat each other up. I mean, that fact alone, like, whoever comes out on top, someone's going to be, like, slightly more happy or something like that. I don't know, but it's just kind of a weird situation. All right, so the first yes I'm going to give to Joe Musgrove. He is a pitcher for the San Diego Padres. The reason he's on this list is he is the first pitcher in Padres history to do a no-hitter for the Padres. That's not easy to do. And the fact that he was the first one to ever do it for his team, that's kind of a big deal. And the Padres are actually making lots of waves this year. And as a baseball fan, more specifically an Angels fan, that is a little I wish my team was doing okay. Angels they're managing, but they got a ways to go. But Padres doing a good job, and Joe Musgrove deserves a highlight here. The next no we're going to get for the number 4 spot is, I don't really know the individual that we're supposed to actually give the no to, but here's the situation. The Phillies and the Braves had a game that month, and one of the players on the Phillies side, Alec Baum, I think that's how you pronounce it, was going in to slide for home plate. And he goes down, it looks amazing, he pops up, does a spin, kind of looks like a transformer move, and he's declared safe. But it's challenged, and we kind of think that it might not be as clear-cut as everyone thinks. And for some reason, whoever the people who are in the back room doing the replay, or the refs themselves, I don't know, I really don't know who it is that made the ultimate decision, but they declared him safe. And all the angles suggest, actually, he didn't actually touch the base one bit. So we're trying to figure out, like, why would we just let this go? I mean, that was the deciding factor, essentially, for that game. It's just bad for the sport. All right, so next, we have on the number 4 spot for Y.E.S. is Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm a little lukewarm with Aaron. He's kind of a hit and miss kind of guy for me, but he was a guest host for Jeopardy. And just plain and simple, he did an excellent job. His demeanor, his mannerisms, his tone of voice, it was great. It just felt like this actually could be a legitimate transition for Aaron from football to this show. He's been kind of a Jeopardy savant, I guess, in a way, for the show, and he's just really enjoyed it his whole life. He's appeared on it as a celebrity and won it, and yeah, this just looks really good for him. I would gladly welcome this as a future host, for a permanent position for him. Number 3 for the no spot, we're giving this to Jason Smith on FS1. He is a radio host and had a take on Steph Curry, saying that he is a system player. Basically, the whole spiel of this take was Steph Curry is not as great as everybody thinks he is, and that he kind of just is making his way work because of the way that either Steve Kerr is managing it, or that the way that they had built things around him just wasn't made for Steph, but Steph was just going to be utilized in some sort of way. Basically, just trying to take away the glory for Steph Curry. And a lot of people had something to say about that, and it wasn't pretty. It's kind of ridiculous. Steph Curry is that system. He's the center player. If he moved away, things would be different, okay? And people would build around Steph Curry, not the other way around. All right, number 3, we're actually switching off from sports right now. Porter Robinson. Porter Robinson made a great album. It's one of my favorites so far of this year. It's very, heartfelt, caring, kind of anime style-like for me. It's just great electronic and used just techniques that I didn't expect that you would think sound off, but the more you listen to it, the more you just really think, wow, this guy is pretty innovative. So I got to give him props right here. Okay, number 2 for the nose, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce got fired from ESPN because of a live stream he did for a party of some sorts. He was smoking dope and having these quote-unquote dancers twerking. I don't know if they were friends or if they were solicited of some kind. I'm not implying anything. I don't know who they are, but it was not good optics for them, which is kind of silly based on some of the things that maybe he or others get away with, but it was kind of a big deal for the company, and they decided, it's not worth it, we'll just let him go. And whether they had stuck with him or not, I would still have him on this list. Number 2 for the yes category, Scott Drew, the head coach for the basketball team of Baylor. Baylor ended up winning March Madness, and the players are great, but in all honesty, Scott Drew is the one who endured so many hardships before they even got to the bracket and led them all the way over here. Coaching matters in these sports, and Scott Drew deserves a highlight here. The number 1 spot for no for the month of April 2021 revolves around the Jake Paul and Ben Asker's fight, but not for the fighters themselves. It's for all the performers. And when I say all the performers, I mean all the performers. Doja Cat, terrible performance. Justin Bieber, I had no idea what he was doing. Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, everyone who was involved in here. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. It feels lazy. It feels uninspired. Now, maybe it's the fact that there was a limited crowd there. Maybe it would have been bigger hyped. Maybe there had to be better camera angles. But no, I actually think that this was kind of a bad opportunity for them. I feel like they totally missed the line and were giving us a haphazard kind of performance here. So I have to put them here because it was bad. So this is kind of a music and sport moment at the same time. All right. And the number one spot, the number one Y.E.S entertainer highlight of the month, Dana White. Dana White put on UFC 261 in Jacksonville, Florida, and had 5 amazing fights with a full crowd, trying to get things back to normal in the world, and he just didn't care. Like, he did not care that other people were going to try and put negative optics on him, or he just thought, I am going to be the one to push forward, 1, good entertainment, 1, good for the sport, and 3, just a good time for everybody. Everyone looked like they had an amazing time there. And Dana White is just one of those people who knows that he can move forward without permission of others. He's got this. He's got this real good. Okay, so that's what we have it. 5 and 5, April 2021. If any of you are interested in making submissions, comment below. If you know of people who should be highlighted, definitely let me know. We'll have May probably in a few weeks, and we're gonna see what happens with that. So remember, keep watching Y.E.S. We're gonna have these 5 and 5s coming up more and more. We're gonna review more albums. We're gonna highlight more entertainment. This is Rico with the 5 and 5 on Y.E.S.